If you had a break from the beauty industry for whatever reason and you're struggling to get back into it, whether that's motivation or maybe confidence, any sort of break, I'm hoping that these tips would help you. So I made a list of things that personally helped me. I took a break in the middle of my career at some point for a few months, but even if your break was a lot longer than that, I'm hoping that at least one of these tips would help. I personally struggled more with motivation, and the first thing that helped me feel more motivated into getting back into the beauty industry was finding a job that was a lot closer to me. In the beginning of my career, I used to travel an hour to get to work, and after a break, the thought of travelling an hour to get to work again kind of put me off. So then I started to look for jobs that were a lot closer. If you're a mobile beauty therapist, you have full control of this as well. You can only accept clients within a certain number of miles, for example, just to make you feel more motivated and kind of look forward to doing your job rather than really worrying about the commute. Another tip that I can give you is to ease yourself into it by going part-time first. I personally was worried about going from a break to almost going in the deep end and going full on. So you can start with 2 or 3 days a week, and then once you get used to it, you can then go back to full-time. If you are struggling with getting excited, maybe you've been in the beauty industry for quite a long time, even though you had a break, you feel like not as excited as you used to be maybe. My next tip will hopefully help you, and it's to train in something that you're not trained in. So train in something new. It can be a treatment that you're not qualified in, so it's learning something completely new. It could be training in a brand that you've never trained in before. I feel like that would start to get you excited again. It's almost like dating. So you had your break, you're a little bit nervous getting back out there, but then you have your first date, that excitement comes back again. If you are struggling with confidence because of this break, my tip to you is to do a refresher course. There are a lot of brands that offer this. A lot of them are for free. There were a lot of these courses on during lockdown. Some of them might still be going on. I know that Dermalogica is still doing it, for example. So I recommend that you ask your manager or you look yourself online to see if these refresher courses are available. I remember when I trained in Environ, I worked in this salon for a little bit, and then I left. I worked in other salons over a few years that didn't have this brand. Eventually, when I did work in a salon that had Environ, I did lose some confidence. There were products that were discontinued, there were loads of new products, certain things changed in their facials, and just by doing this refresher course I gained a lot more confidence, but I would say that it was quite overwhelming because a lot changed for me. I recommend that we do these courses a little bit more often so that we're not overwhelmed with how much has changed. Another thing that could help motivate you to get back into the beauty industry is money. I find that if there's something that I really want, I think, right, I'm gonna work a little bit harder, save up, and then buy this thing that I want. I feel like that helps with motivation as well. Once you start working and you meet other beauty therapists and you work with them, sometimes your own colleagues can motivate you. So let's just say you do start but part-time. It might not take you that long to want to go full-time again because you see how hard-working your colleagues are and how much they enjoy their job, and look at how well they're doing, and they might inspire you. Another way to feel inspired by other people in the beauty industry before you get back in there is to follow these people on social media, on Instagram, YouTube. There are so many beauty therapists on social media that share their work, they share their advice, and it helps inspire you and it makes you look forward to getting back in there, and you also feel like you have so much in common with this person. My next tip is to listen to the Beauty Edit podcast. It's so good and interesting, inspiring, motivating, and you can really relate to it because we're all in the beauty industry. I listened to loads of people's success stories, people who started from the bottom, people who took a huge risk, just loads of different stories, tips, advice, just not only to do with your actual job but like business-wise as well. I highly recommend it. I'm so obsessed with it that I'm listening to them slowly. I don't listen to them that often because I'm scared I'm going to run out of episodes and then I'm going to have to wait for a new one. So yeah, I highly recommend if you are looking for motivation and inspiration. and everything else, tips, advice, just everything. The final tip that I'm going to give you might not work for everyone, so I'm a little bit worried for suggesting it, but I want to mention it because it's something that worked for me. So during my break, I was considering leaving the beauty industry. I was searching for other jobs, and when I was reading the job description, I realised that nothing interested me. No other job made me feel excited as beauty. I almost felt this new respect for the field and just appreciated the beauty industry in a brand new way. I don't even know how to describe what I felt. I felt something where I thought, right, this is the only thing that I could possibly do. I'm not going to leave. This is where I belong. I'm grateful, I'm excited, and now I'm motivated to really get back in there, because clearly there's no other field that I'm that excited about. My tip is to look at what else is out there, and then hopefully you'll realise that the beauty industry is your main interest and what you want to focus on career-wise, and then hopefully that would sort of, after your break, you sort of just get that emotion to get back in there. So yeah, that is the final thing that I'm gonna say that personally worked for me. And yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.